This new Porsche Cayenne EV interior makes me sick. I feel ill when I see the images of the new interior for the Porsche Cayenne EV. Thankfully, this is supposed to be a standalone product in the Cayenne lineup, the EV, compared to the internal combustion engine version and the hybrid versions. But Porsche also says that this is the type of interior that is going to translate over across the entire Porsche lineup. And I don't understand what is going on with car interiors. 90% of people say that they seriously dislike screens like this, bring back physical buttons, but then the manufacturers are just hyping up this type of interiors that, trying to make it sound like it's a cool feature that people should appreciate, when obviously the majority do not want these type of interiors. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's such a weird time we're in when it comes to car design, interior designs. I mean, bring back some proper buttons and some features in here, some textures, materials. This is a Porsche. This is not supposed to be, a consumer electronics on wheels. So first of all, before we jump in Photoshop, I'm going to show you the generations of Porsche Cayenne, the interiors, and just where the heck are we going? I mean, are we going to have a big are we going to drive with, augmented reality glasses and not have anything in the interior in the future? That seems to be the where we're actually headed. So before we jump into Photoshop, let's have a look at this article from Car Scoops. I'm going to link it down below. So new Cayenne Electric packs more screens than a Vegas buffet of OLEDs, featuring a wall of screens, including a curved infotainment display. The SUV adds more personalization options alongside improved comfort features. This does not look comfortable to me at all. It looks like migraine. If migraine was designed as an interior, this would be it. It will be introduced in late 2025 with the flagship trim producing over 1,000 horsepower. Cool to have 1,000 horsepower in an EV. Nothing new, but that's what we get for the new Cayenne. Now, some might say that I'm talking too much about these new interiors, but am I just gonna sit here and let this happen with beautiful, when we have... Mercedes used to have some of the best interiors. Audi, I think, is one of the best examples of the old interiors when you had still digital clusters, digital infotainment screen, a bunch of beautiful buttons, red LED, around the key features. Those LEDs were some of the most beautiful LEDs in any interior. And all of these companies that used to have such great interiors are just slapping their customers in the face with these new ones. So I have to keep talking about it because I want to see a change in this. And, change is not going to happen unless you do something about it. So this is a standalone addition to the existing gasoline and plug-in hybrid lineup. Thankfully, so far, the Cayenne Electric ushers in what Porsche calls the interior of the future. I certainly hope not. A design that will eventually filter into other models. Taking center stage is the Flow display. That is what Porsche calls it. Mercedes, we got Hyperscreen. This is all marketing, by the way. A Hyperscreen for the Mercedes. Audi has the digital stage. Porsche now, I guess, have the Flow display, a curved OLED screen that dominates the middle of the dashboard. But thankfully, you still have some physical switches reserved for essentials like temperature, fan speed, and volume. Thank you, Porsche, for at least keeping those. So it's about as far from a classic Porsche cabin as you can get. So what do we have here exactly? I mean, some crazy numbers here. Pairs with a 14.2-inch OLED digital instrument cluster. The instrument cluster is also going up now. It used to be 12.3 in pretty much every single vehicle. Now we're getting close to 15 inches. An optional 87-inch augmented reality head-up display with a 14.9-inch passenger screen. Offers more personalization than ever with 13 interior color combinations, 4 interior packages, 5 accent packs, extended ambient lighting, and 5 digital themes. Added to that are the new mood modes, which coordinate lighting, climate, sound, and seating. This is also, in addition to all the screens that we have, this is a big problem in today's car design interiors as well. With software, You can add and keep add more feature, more technology, more customization, more personalization. So what does that do to the brand? The brand then becomes diluted, and the brand doesn't stand for anything. It lets the customer decide exactly all the features that he wants from the interior. There is nothing coming from the brand, from Porsche, saying this is what we want our interiors to look like. Instead, you can do whatever you want with our interiors. It makes for a weak brand. Does that make sense? Like the design, I want to have a statement from the car companies themselves saying that this is our idea of a beautiful interior and you cannot switch it. You either like it or you don't. We have too many options these days. The brain, it's overloaded with options these days, and I don't like, cars are the last product I want to see with these type of features, like 52 different settings for the light and stuff like this. Just give me what you as the brand think is a good interior, and if I like it, I will buy it. If not, I will not buy it. I will buy something else that aligns with my values and what I want to see in an interior. So here we have the design itself. Now, from a straight front view, it almost looks, I don't know if it looks decent or not, but thankfully we still have the analog clock up here, so we have that analog feature is still intact, and we have some toggles down here for the climate settings and the fan speed. Everything else is included in this display down here. We have a display here, passenger display, 14.25 display right in front of the drivers. Yeah, so this is what we have in today's car design. This lower section definitely looks pretty clean, I have to say that. No gear selector whatsoever, it doesn't look like. So what else do we have here? You got the largest glass roof ever fitted to a Porsche. That's, I guess, totally fine. I've never been a fan of panoramic glass roofs at all. I would always want to have a fixed roof in pretty much every single vehicle I can think of, unless it is like a Bronco where you can take off the entire roof. That would be pretty cool. So that's it. That's for the article. If you want to read through this and see what Porsche is up to when it comes to interiors, I'm going to link this article down low. Now let's jump into Photoshop here, because I want to show you the Cayenne timeline of their interiors. Where are we going? What's happening here? What can we expect in the future? I almost don't even want to think about it. So here on the left side, we have the 2004 Porsche Cayenne. Look at how clean this is. Can you customize the design of this at all? No, because Porsche decided that this is their interior for the Cayenne. This is what we want the Cayenne to look like. You cannot customize this as a customer. You either buy what we build or you don't. This is our statement from as a team of designers that we want to have this shape for the steering wheel and so on for the interiors. A lot of buttons here on the steering wheel. Never really honestly been a fan of this triangle piece that we have in the steering wheel for the early Cayennes. But the center portion, beautiful. Look at how many buttons we have. We even have phones here. We have the controls for the climate settings. You can see the small little display here that shows the temperature and the fan speed and all of this. Nice vents up top, very easy. There is nobody in this world that can't see this, look at this, and figure out how these vents work. We have a gear selector down here as well. So 2004 was a beautiful interior. Small little screen here. You can see all the crafted physical piece in the interior here, looking beautiful. Now going into 2011, this is probably, let's see, 2018. Yeah, this is probably my favorite interior for the Cayenne. 2011, a great year for Audi as well, when they had fantastic looking interiors. I do like the vents here. This is personally not the spec that I would choose with this bright interior. I would want to have it be a little darker. But we have some wood trim here, in addition to some metal trim on top of it, looking beautiful. This steering wheel is about 1,000% better looking than the first generation for sure. Still, big tachometer in the middle, a small little screen on the side here, perfect. You got the speedometer here on the left side of the tachometer, and this big Porsche center stash of buttons that they introduced with this generation that I've followed for a very long time, to have all these buttons on the side, and proper gear selector as well, a small screen in the middle, and some vents up top coming down from the dash like that. I mean, it's just a beautiful looking interior. This is an interior that I would want to freeze time here. Just implement Apple CarPlay right here, and I would be so happy to have this exact interior back for a 2026 model year Porsche Cayenne. If they just brought this back with Apple CarPlay, I would have no complaints whatsoever about this interior. Now looking at the 2018, we're starting to get more screens here. As you can see, this is still a pretty decent looking interior, I have to say. I do like the integration of the infotainment screen, how it's wide screen like this. It's not really too big. It's borderline too big, but it's not too bad. And then how it goes down into the vents in the lower section here, having a connection to what's going on with this. And we still have a housing for the gauge cluster. Beautiful to see that. Still a analog tachometer, speedometer with some screens on the side. This is totally fine. You can have screens in the gauge clusters. I'm not opposed to that one bit. I think it's great to have that because you can customize some features, not for your pleasure, but for your information. What type of information you want visible in the dash. So it's always good to have at least a little bit of digitalization in the gauge cluster. The steering wheel looks absolutely beautiful as well. I think this is probably the best steering wheel out of all of these that I'm going to show you. It looks fantastic with this metal trim, with the buttons here. You got hollow pieces here, and of course this scroll buttons here for the, I guess, volume or just configure the screens in the middle. Some nice vents up top here, and you still have the controls, physical controls for the temperature right here. The fan speed, you can see 22 degrees, sounds pretty comfortable to me, and a dial for the volume. I do believe maybe this is the volume knob right here. This is the tuning knob, but still you got a bunch of buttons. Great mix between digital features and analog features going into 2024. Very similar to 2018, but it's not as good because now you can see in the gauge cluster everything is now digital. It's just one flat, boring screen with pixels on it. The integration of the infotainment screen still looks pretty decent to me. Thankfully, we still have these buttons here intact. Gloss plastic is just a trim level that I personally do not prefer to have in a Cayenne, but thankfully we also have the analog watch up there, or the clock. Now moving on to 2026. Now what the heck is going on here? The entire dash is just glass, or is just one single screen now. We do have some nice features up top. I really like this, how they implement the dash up top, and also this piece up top over the gauge cluster looking pretty cool or clean. And then we have the clock still visible. The steering wheel looks pretty decent as well. But all of this, a curved gauge cluster, massive screen, 87-inch head-up display right in front of you. Some ambient lighting. I can't remember how many colors you can choose between, but gonna go into some details of this interior. We have this curved screen here. These are two separated screens. I guess we have a separation here, but they sit within the same sort of glass panel. And thankfully, we still have at least these buttons down here for the climate settings. But all the buttons for the heated steering wheel and stuff like that is located inside of the software now. Here you can clearly see the curviness of the gauge cluster sitting. I guess you could call this a housing for it. It's not the housing I want to see for it though. And then you have the largest screen actually happens for the passengers here. So everybody's addicted to screen these days. We cannot have a passenger to sit and appreciate the surroundings when you're going, on a drive. They need to be on their phones. If they don't have their phones, they can put the phone to charge and they can watch whatever they want, TikTok or something like that, on the screen right there. Some more pictures of this interior going down here. This area is definitely my favorite area of this new interior, but that is pretty much it. And the steering wheel also looks pretty decent to me. So let me know. I mean, am I out on some wild tangent or opinions here with these new interiors? It's not just Porsche that is doing this. We've talked about this so many times. I mean, we see this from Audi now. I have this extremely weird integration of the screens. BMW Neue Klasse iDrive, panoramic iDrive is coming out, so it's happening across the entire lineup. And honestly, I hope it stops here. We need to go back and implement and make cars what cars are, and separate cars from other products. That is pretty much all I'm asking for.